the SoundCloud. I mean, that's where Uzi and all them came from. With SoundCloud.
Yachty.
Yeah, we don't really have SoundCloud rappers these days.
My mixtapes.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Wait. Don't do that.
Hold on.
Don't do that. That's vintage.
I just gotta get it. I just gotta go. I just gotta flip it. Watch the money grow. So a little mama drop it down to the floor. After one night, she gon' be begging for more.
What up, everyone? It is Dear Radio. It is your host with the most, Dear LeBrankston, in the studio. I got my fellas with me. I got Dear Michael and Dear TKD2 Gaming. Man, we need to cut your name down shorter. But how are you guys feeling, man?
I agree with you.
And first off, shout out Dear Siege. He was in Walmart, around this time, and his Wi-Fi cutouts. He's got to get away from that Walmart Wi-Fi because he didn't want to be in his house with his fire alarm going off. But shout out Dear Siege, though. And he get that off.
Man, make sure y'all subscribe to the Patreon to get this man a new fire alarm, man. But anyways, glad you guys are doing well. The TK's been waiting for this topic since approximately last week when he created the topic. But today we kind of want to dive into the music streaming background. For most of y'all who are listening, y'all are probably too young about what we're talking about in terms of LimeWire and downloading music and streaming music. Yeah, that too. Forgot about that one too. And man, I just want to say this first before we start off. The kids these days have it so easy with Apple Music and freaking Spotify. Man, back in my day, we had to listen to freaking SoundCloud connected to Wi-Fi just to even get like a reverbed, slowed up, slowed down versions of like the songs. And we're like, all right, we'll make it work.
Instrumentals had to be on that too.
Yeah, it was crazy. The SoundCloud. I mean, that's where Uzi and all them came from. With SoundCloud. Yeah, we don't really have SoundCloud rappers these days.
My mixtapes.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Wait. Don't do that.
Hold on.
Don't do that. That's vintage.
But TK's a seasoned veteran when it comes to LimeWire. Rumor has it that he has a record high 14 viruses installed on his family's computer when he downloaded LimeWire. So TK, go ahead and talk to us a little bit about what LimeWire was for the younger audience,
Well, first off, man, I'd be lying, man, if I didn't shout this person out. Shout out my sister. And I apologize from the start. I did mess your computer up by using LimeWire. So, like Dear LeBrank said, a lot of these kids won't know about LimeWire and FrostWire. And honestly, I'm not even going to lie to you. I really didn't use LimeWire like that. I was really on FrostWire because my friend showed me FrostWire back in, I was in 5th or 4th grade, and it was running way more smoother than LimeWire. So I stayed with FrostWire. Now, granted, they're still the same thing. I don't know if they're from the same company or for the same person that was doing it, but those two were like that. But back to what I was saying, with the FrostWire, y'all don't understand how hard y'all have it, or how easy y'all have, I should say. Because with FrostWire, you would download something. It'd be let's say, Drake, Thank Me Later, right? You feeling good? You probably, I don't know about how y'all were. I lived out my PSP, so I would download stuff and put on my PSP. That's a more shout out PSP.
Which project?
What do you mean?
You said Thank Me Later?
Yeah, Thank Me Later. Yes,
Okay.
PSP.
Okay.
I think pretty sure. Yeah. I think iPod was out that time frame, but I didn't have an iPod at that time. Yeah, I think like the iPod was out. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So FrostWire would download stuff. I'm pretty sure my first my first like actual download from LimeWire was "Got Money" by Lil Wayne. And what's crazy about it is, so like, again, shout out to my sister. She was going into college at the time frame, and she wanted me to make her a playlist. So I had to make a playlist on a disc. This is how old I'm showing you how to make a playlist on a disc so she can go to college with it. So, long story short, I put some songs on there. I think she wanted the Carter 3. I think it was like Mr. Carter or whatnot. I got that on there, but it was not Mr. Carter. I don't know if you guys know, there's a famous saying that George W. Bush used to do back in the day, and they would have like his voiceovers on like the LimeWire thing. So you would download something, and it wouldn't even be that. It would be like George Bush, the Kim Kardashian stuff would be on there. It was what was the person's name that Who was the person that had those sexual relations with that girl? Who was that?
Are you talking about Bill Clinton?
Bill Clinton. His thing was on there. So you would never know what you would get with Frostwire and LimeWire because
just a famous quote.
It was a famous quote. He said, "I did not have sexual relations with that girl."
Why did you not have sexual relations with that woman?
And then you would think you would be got money from Lil Wayne, and lo and behold, it's that. So think about this. Going back to one of our previous episodes when I was talking about LeBranc putting the streaming service of UFC in front of a lot of people that kind of look like me and Dear Michael. Think about if we had Frostwire. You had a party you were turning up to, and you play the first song, and it's him saying that quote. So kids, y'all have it so much more easier now because you was really in the trenches with Frostwire and LimeWire. But I feel like it was a lot better back in the day because you had to go thumb through stuff to get the actual music, and it made it give you more gratitude of having stuff. So that's my tangent with LimeWire. But like I said, shout out my sister though, because she was really the main one that kind of got me in that force of LimeWire and Frostwire. But those were some dog days, but it was some fun dog days with that stuff though, because it was just, you know what you're gonna get. You can get the actual song, you can get Bill Clinton, you can get Kim Kardashian, or you can get nothing at all, or you can get a virus. So you having a lot of risk with the whole back in the day doing illegal stuff and.
But it felt more personal.
Yes, it did. Yes, man. Boy,
that adrenaline rush.
Yes, man. I mean, boy, you could, man. I'll go again. Seeing the name of the song and then the little underscore MP4. You don't got that no more. It's just the name of the man. Man, don't get me started. I'm gonna make y'all sound like I'm 50 years old. That's nostalgia right there.
You actually own the music.
Yeah, not really. That's you go to jail. They found out, for sure. That's why he took it off, man. R.I.P. LimeWire and Frostwire for that reason.
It's still there. Both of those are still there.
Really?
Yeah, they're just not what it used to be.
Nah, makes sense.
So I was doing some research on it, and LimeWire is still there as like they were bought out in 2023.
That's
and now
recent.
Is like a free. Yeah, well, yeah, dude, good math, bro. Good job. I'm proud of you, man. And now it's like some form of a platform for AI for peer-to-peer file sharing stuff.
Wow.
So it's still similar, but like it's not like Frostwire is still more of like a BitTorrent where you can still like download like stuff.
Yeah, I know
like,
what you're saying.
Like movies and TV shows. Yeah. I'm not saying go ahead and do that, but
no, not
a dangerous game that you're playing right there. Because I still think you can get like viruses and stuff from there. Because back in the day, people would like go ahead and upload those like versions of the songs. You would download it. It's either you're gonna get that song or you're gonna get a virus. Not gonna lie, I didn't get a virus from LimeWire, but I got a virus from a different website trying to download an album that wasn't easily accessible. And I got a virus and I was like, Dad, I need your help. And luckily my dad logged on my computer and he was like, oh, there you go. Let's get rid of it.
See, you playing with fire with them back in the day, boy. But it was worth it though, because it's like you about to get the whole package. And I'm telling you, bro.
Because I remember, so I didn't really use LimeWire growing up. I used it's a whole website for downloading albums. I want to say it was like Album Hunter or something with that.
I
remember the first MySpace. MySpace was a good one.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that MySpace was a outlet for music too.
Yeah, because they had some crazy stuff. My first like stuff that I downloaded was I think it was like in 8th grade when I first figured out how to do it like on my own, and that's when I had my own personal computer. I downloaded Bad Meets Evil with Eminem and Royce the 5'9", their collab album.
Vintage.
When Pink Friday came out, I downloaded that. Put it all on my iPod Nano.
Shout out Nikki.
Hey, that iPod Nano, go.
Yeah, the iPod Nano was crazy because it was so much easier to put stuff on your No, that's a shuffle.
Nano.
Nano had the little screen where you get rotated circles because that's the first one you had like games.
The shuffle was smaller.
What was the clip one? That was a shuffle?
That was a shuffle, yeah.
I thought it was iPod Nano.
Nah, Nano
was the one with the like little circles that you can scroll.
And that
it was color
screen,
like rectangle.
Yeah. Because mine was a light blue Nano, I think.
Hey,
had green, gold.
What was the other one?
They didn't bring that Nano back.
What was that called?
It was
the Apple? To the no, it was called the Zune. Hey, look up the Zune or Zoom.
Oh, but it wasn't Apple though, right?
No, it wasn't Apple. It was a wholly different one. Look that up real quick. I want to. But y'all know what I'm talking about.
Zune MP3 player?
Yeah, in the comments, bro. Y'all know what Zune is, bro.
It was from Microsoft.
Yeah, come on, peoples. Y'all know what Zune is, bro. Come on. Y'all know that.
Yeah, that was very similar to the Nano.
Yeah.
I think BlackBerry had something similar to
BlackBerry.
Did have something.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God, Michael, fix
Jesus,
your camera,
boy.
man.
Hey, bloopers in his too, boy. Jesus.
Hey, speaking of, this is a little bit off topic, but did you see they're bringing back the Razer phones?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Hey,
Are they?
speaking of LimeWire days, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to be bringing back the Razer phones. They look just like them, but it's like almost like a clear like flip phone. It's weird, but it's like touchscreen.
Man, you know what I was also thinking about, like kind of like in that, would you consider, no, because I'm going to say it anyway, would you consider Spotify and Apple Music, LimeWire and FastWire, or are FastWire and LimeWire like more connected? Because I feel like people always say, oh, I could tell you a Spotify person, or I could tell you an Apple Music person. Do y'all not hear those sayings? People say that, oh, I can tell you a Spotify person or Apple Music person. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's kind of like the Apple and Android debate.
Yeah.
But but have you seen the Spotify docu-series on Netflix?
I ain't gonna lie. I told this to Brain. Spotify getting me low key. I'm messing with it low key now.
Told you.
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't
got more
though. Ask your question. I didn't mean to go on.
It's got a lot more users for sure than Apple.
Yeah,
but
I'm liking how you can do the playlist, bro. That's what's really getting me.
Because you can do like it's easier to one find playlists and two make like joint playlists with like your friends.
But it's like if you don't have the paid version, it sucks because there's so many advertisements.
Yep.
I
got that version. I got the little free subscription thing.
Yeah, that shit sucks.
It does.
But they're smart for that though. But
I mean, that's what they do all day. You know what I'm saying? That's the new thing now.
Yeah,
but at least with Spotify, you can access it with the free subscription. Where Apple Music, you can't even access it without that.
Apple is stingy, boy.
Yeah. But they pay out a little bit more for the artists though. Maybe like 2%, 2 or 3 cents more. But it ain't like it's
still anything else,
man.
Anything
so
else.
y'all would say no about the LimeWire and then the Spotify.
Is it comparable to that? Nah, I say it's different. It's different. It's like Apple.
I would say. Leading into your original question, like I wouldn't say, oh, you're a LimeWire person. Oh no, you're a FastWire person. Because either way, like you're still illegally downloading music, so it still adds into where like you can be with like Apple Music people. You can definitely tell who's using Apple Music and who's listening to Spotify, mostly because of the time of the year when the Spotify raps come out and everyone posts it. And then the Apple replay is so hard to get to, and you're like, I'm not even gonna bother trying to get to it through my computer. Whereas like Spotify shows it on the app.
He's speaking facts.
Yeah, but I would say like with all the pirating of the music, it all wraps into one big lump sum of just like.
Should we get into that space or no?
Still, which space?
What's up?
Like the media space in that way, like music. I think it's a little tough, but I feel like their radio can go that route. Like being a music hub distributor.
Pirating music?
Not like pirating. Licensing. being a funnel to license playlist and having music rights and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be,
we got a radio show.
At what OVO radio did with Apple Music. Like no one would even thought about that when that came out. I remember I was at the Wyatt when More Life dropped on OVO Music on Apple Music, and that was fire. Like I think being able for us to do something similar like that would be cool. Or just being able to have people come on and be able to license their music and throw it on. Like who was I watching the other day? Some YouTuber. I don't remember who it was, but like Logic, he used to do it a bunch of times back in the day for like FaZe Clan when they would do their sniping montages. He would just go ahead and give them permission to use their music throughout the whole entire video without like flagging it as copyright. So I think that'd be cool for something with the radio to do in the future of just going down that branding or licensing deals. It just has to make sense.
I agree.
Also what I was thinking too, you know how we were like explaining like the LimeWire and FastWire. Do y'all think like obviously back in the day you only had 2 outlets? We were talking before audience about my mixtape and stuff like that and SoundCloud. Do you think that even with Spotify and Apple Music, you still have different avenues of your SoundClouds and I don't know if my mixtape's still a thing and they still do decent numbers. Because I feel like back in the day, it was literally just, well, yeah, they had Rapster. I was old enough for that. I was old enough for Rapster, though. Yeah. So, but I'm just like, do you feel
my mixtape was tough?
Do people still kind of get?
You mean Napster?
Napster. I thought it was Rapster. Yeah. Anyway,
no, it's Napster.
But do y'all think like SoundCloud and them still flourishes, even though you have it because Apple Music and Spotify take up everything? Like, I still have some SoundCloud stuff, but I rarely go to SoundCloud like I used to back when I was in college. It's Apple Music and Spotify.
Yeah, because Apple Music and Spotify start figuring out the marketing side of like advertising. Like SoundCloud is preferably just for breaking artists of just like, I want a whole bunch of people that can play a whole song, no advertising. I can drop it and give it direct to consumer on demand. I'm already building hype up, and like it was what's it called? Low underpriced attention. So like a whole bunch of people flooded on a platform that didn't upsell you or anything. So like if you drop it's kind of like when TikTok first came out for America. You drop a couple of videos and you blow up on the fourth one, it's like underpriced attention. So when Netflix started realizing, Netflix with SoundCloud and Apple Music started realizing, hold on, they breaking artists. We kind of got the label people over here on our platform, but they actually, all right, let's change our model up. And once when the tech giants change their model up for the underdogs, it's hard to bounce back from that. So like SoundCloud now is trying to do the model of the SoundCloud, but the Spotify and
because you get the subscription now for SoundCloud if you want all access.
And it's tough. It's tough because like people they can't simply break artists like they used to. So people they might try to do some exclusive deals, but it's not going to be as favorable as far as marketing budget to be a superstar through these medium channels and of distribution like a Spotify and Apple Music. So those are the two giants, and then obviously the head Universal, the Sony, and the Warner Brothers. Yeah. Those labels own shares of certain of those distribution companies, so it's kind of tough. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's not going to be the same. So no, I would definitely say those two are like polar opposites that control majority share or market share of music for sure. SoundCloud is SoundCloud. What else was around at that time? They did break a lot of artists. What else was around? It was just those three. I mean,
right? you got SoundCloud, you had DatPiff.com, Live Mixtapes.
Yeah, DatPiff.
Yeah, DatPiff was huge. Yeah, that was my first website where I found Mixtape. Yeah, with Lil Wayne, boy. Where he had No Ceilings, and then even sorry.
I found that on my Mixtapes.
Yeah, that was on there too.
But DatPiff was
Live Mixtapes was good too. But then I remember because back in the day, some artists would just release mixtapes, which I feel like the mixtape era is kind of done since everything's just released on Spotify and Apple. But like you had No Ceilings, you had Sorry for the Wait. That was a huge another Wayne mixtape that came out.
Cause that era blew up off of like bootleg. So like mixtapes was the thing that
I think it's you can't even grow in that aspect like your SoundClouds and your DatPiff because they don't do that no more. It's all just strictly going straight to mainstream.
Well, I feel like it's not even going to mainstream. I mean, now you have different eras of like or different outlets of music where most people just post stuff on TikTok. Yeah, like look at Shabuzi. Shabuzi basically blew up because of TikTok, and then got all his stuff on. And then like I don't know if y'all seen it, but like Young Gravy blew up on TikTok.
Yeah, that one dude that's with old girl Adrian, the Michigan guy that sings his TikTok. They call it TikTok songs for a reason. You see what I'm saying? So like that, I guess it's kind of answer my own question.
TikTok is like the not exact replica of it, but it's basically the new the new SoundCloud. Yeah. Is where if you want to post like new music, you can post on there. If you want to post movies, scenes from your YouTube show, gaming stuff, like
the only difference,
all that stuff.
The only difference that made SoundCloud really goated was the fact that you just had to drop the song. That is it. I drop a song and millions of people can find a song. It's like I had to do nothing else. Like just continue dropping songs every week.
And on SoundCloud, that was different, bro. If you got to like I don't know a song off the top of my head, but if you got to like a crazy part of the song, you would see like a million comments right on that in like 22 seconds.
Liking it.
Oh my God. Oh, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said that. Oh my
God.
I remember what you said.
Because you could see it would like pop up.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh shoot. Yeah. There's something at like 220. Let me just go ahead and skip to that.
Yeah. That was the big for Lil Yachty's I know. I remember that was talking about the beginning part of it. Because half of it B Tiller, yes.
He blew up off of SoundCloud. That TikTok is tough, bro. It's a game. It's different, but it's market distribution. Like we had that.
I feel like SoundCloud was like you said, you don't need to do drop the song, but I mean TikTok songs his own genre. I feel like so I feel like it might be a little.
But it's different, bro. Because the difference between the two. Both are platforms at different time periods that like obviously help an artist trying to break for sure. So that in that aspect, they're working exactly the same. The medium of how to distribute music and blow up is completely different though. Like when you found a song on SoundCloud back in the day, you fell in love with the artist because you listened to the whole song. Yeah. You would listen to people on TikTok, you only hearing 10 to 15 seconds, you fall in love with that part. You don't even know you don't know who the artist is. Yeah. It's everywhere after 2 days. You hear it on every commercial, every TikTok, every replay, every repost, every video game. Yeah. And you like, damn, who the fuck is this? And you don't care about it. And you listen to the whole song, like, oh, that shit ain't really all that. But like, you like the hook. And it's like TikTok. I mean, SoundCloud has some real talent, bro. Like,
no, I'm agreeing.
It was different. Just, That's different. But I do agree. I'm sorry. I do think there's nothing like just buying a CD, bro. Like the CD era, I think worked the best for music. For artists getting paid the most, labels getting money off of straight music, and fans actually grabbing something and waiting in line and feeling nostalgia of like, I'm going to buy and help my artist that I really enjoy. And you keep a copy of the CD, take the plastic out, open the joint, see the whole pamphlet, the disc. Like I understand it's like obviously a lot of work if you think about it now, but it's like, man, that's having a whole binder full of CDs, get your CD player. Nothing kind of beats that. Obviously, record players and stuff and records was before that, but I think CD was like a golden age for music. But it's tough, bro. Like Apple Music and Spotify is cool, but the fact that you don't have control over the music that you listen to outside of like your own playlist. But if Apple want to take it off, Spotify want to take it off, like you have no control over that unless I guess you buy it from Apple iTunes or something like that. But I don't know, man.
That's why I'm starting to build up my my vinyl collection. I'm still mad that nothing was the same. It's still crazy, out of stock on vinyl. It's never going to come back. Yeah. No.
Best Drake album for sure.
A long time ago. Yes. Oh, 100%.
Hey, real quick.
Go ahead.
So do y'all? So I know you said about SoundCloud. So do you think it was harder, or do you think people even drop random music on LimeWire and FrostWire because you had to physically type? Was there ever like a library or like your top 100? I can't remember that. I thought you always had to type.
I think it was. Cause I think that's how Soulja Boy blew up. I think he used somebody else's alias.
Soulja Boy blew up on YouTube.
That's how he blew up. But I think he went through some distribution to where like when he was going crazy, it was when like I think 50 Cent had some type of album that was going crazy, and he used 50 Cent's titles and name. But when you clicked on it,
on that list of you'll hear Soulja Boy song on a random song.
That's how you blew up.
Yeah, he definitely had that because Soulja Boy was in everything. It was all those crankdats.
Had that
Yeah. No. So, but say, like, for example, like, do y'all think Lil Yachty could post the same thing back on FrostWire or LimeWire and they get the same traction?
I would say no, because the time period is different, and like the music he was making now, when he got blew up on SoundCloud, probably wouldn't have popped off LimeWire that era.
Because they couldn't see it, or because it's hard to access, or just because it's just you just compare it because eras.
I think it's the era, like the era, because I think he was rapping around that time, but I don't think he was taking it serious around the LimeWire. He was too young.
So like, because you have to think about LimeWire is old, but it ain't that old.
Yeah. So I think it's crazy to say like everything happens for a reason, but like he had the right path at that time when he went crazy. I don't think it would have worked for him. I think he'll be a different artist. If he were to break, it'll be completely different artist. It wouldn't be who we know Yachty is today if it would have worked. So I think it's tougher. Because, like you said, you don't have access. You gotta really physically.
That's what I'm saying.
Type the name.
I feel like I could be wrong. Hey, people in the comment, let me know if they had like a top 100 Best
Probably
Job.
did.
I don't remember that on Friday. I just remember it had your history of what you downloaded, but you had to physically, okay, Lil Wayne made this song. I'm gonna type that in. Okay, Bartender by T-Pain. I'm gonna type that in.
You had to individually burn the songs, right?
Yeah,
yeah. So it was.
You can put them all and then drag them over, but they would
go
one by one to the disc. Yes.
Okay.
I can't remember if they had, because that's Apple Music. I mean, half the time,
my brother used to kill that shit.
Don't even know a song. And they'll go to one of my homeboys do all the time back in the day. He would go to the top 100 songs and then make a playlist out of that and be like, oh, I discovered this song. And they were already kind of like,
top 100.
Right. You see what I'm saying? But with Frostwire, I don't remember that. You had to like physically search and type in the artist's name to get that song. And speaking of that, I found an underground. My sister put me on an underground Florida rapper. It was called Lip Biting Animal. That was off of Frostwire 2, bro. Shout out to that guy. Shout out to Lip Biting Animal, bro. That's a Florida song, man. If y'all know about it, y'all know about it.
That's an interesting take, though.
It's crazy. It's crazy how that.
Well, it was definitely organic discovery for
it's
LimeWire.
Organic, bro. LimeWire, for if y'all don't know about LimeWire, for y'all really missed out, bro. Like getting up, looking at that stuff.
I guess the only problem I'll see is I don't even know if it's a problem, but like you get more of what you already like for Spotify and Apple Music because it's all based off of algorithms.
Yeah,
so like they keep
you going.
Yeah,
add more. Another Drake song. The Drake song
exactly.
to this one. Now it's a Lil Yachty song. Now it's a Young Thugger song.
So it's not expanding your taste for real. You just kind of like in the same loop. But like you just find random things on LimeWire. You're like, hold on, what is?
Yeah.
So
never heard of this rapper before type deal. Let me click on it because you got to download. You can't preview it. You got to download it.
You gotta.
That's how I found Logic on DatPiff when he had the Young Sinatra mixtapes.
See?
And then ever since then, like I just followed him forever. But I mean, with that stuff, I feel like music is just so much different in terms of how it's streamed. I mean, now like speaking of Yachty, like you look back at his XXL freshman class, that's probably the last class you probably ever heard of. Because they don't really like treat XXL the same as they used to.
Is Kodak in that or Kodak in the next one?
Kodak.
Kodak. They were Kodak. It was
Kodak.
Yachty.
X is in
Uzi. No, he wasn't.
X is not in that.
No, Denzel Curry was in it. Dickie was in it.
21 Savage.
21 Savage. What's the dude who made I Got Broads in Atlanta?
Designer.
No, Designer.
Yeah, Designer. Yeah, that was a whole freshman class right there. I think I might be missing one.
Hey man, they got him up out of there.
Quick.
Hey, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But music is different for sure.
Davies too. Can't forget Davies. He was in that one.
He was in there. Davies.
Yeah.
He was in there.
So what was X in?
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm missing a lot of people. Let me go back and rephrase.
I thought it was like 7 people. I thought it was 7 people.
Yeah, on the comments, buddy.
So it was Anderson .Paak, 21 Savage, Kodak, Uzi, Lil Dicky, Dave East, Denzel.
Were they in the cypher?
G Herbo and Yachty. Yeah,
G
but
they shit.
They split it up into 2 different ciphers.
G Herbo is in that. Yeah. G Herbo was in that.
G Herbo was in that.
Yeah, G Herbo
because
was in that.
They stacked one side of the cipher with Uzi, Denzel, 21, Kodak and Yachty. Because on the other side they had Anderson .Paak, G Herbo, Designer, Lil Dicky, and
Lil Dicky,
fucking Lil Dicky,
yeah.
Lil Dicky.
Because it was just so awkward because Designer kept doing his ad libs the whole entire time, and I didn't like the beat either. But I feel like I don't even know if you told me
what
the 2025 double XL freshman class was. I'd be like, they probably don't even do it.
I thought you aged out a little bit though. They still do it. I
know, but you don't really hear like let me look up the 2024 class if they even have it. Y'all go ahead and talk.
I don't even honestly. I think I stopped watching after that class.
Okay. Yeah, I stopped watching that too.
There is a class for like X.
But that might have been the year. That might have been the year before. That might have been 14 or 15.
No. X is not before Kodak.
So it's 17. So 17?
It's got to be 16 or 17, bro. Because you got Trippie Redd.
It's got to be 17.
Travis Scott's on one of those.
2017. So they had.
They had a cipher.
Yes.
Yeah, they had a cypher.
Yeah, bro. I didn't watch the cypher though. I stopped at the 21's day class.
So 2017 was pretty good, and so I'll read you 2017, and I'll also read you 2024.
Which one Nipsey Hussle
on? I don't even remember.
Nipsey
He would have had to been.
I think he's on 17 or 18. I think
he's not on 17.
Yeah, because they didn't put him on until his music started blowing up like globally. Because he was independent, selling tapes still.
Yeah.
He was 2010.
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah, I was about to say he was a long time ago.
There's no way.
I thought they put him on afterwards he blew up, but that makes sense that he's on 2010.
Because he was on there. He
was
on
J. Cole.
It was Nipsey, OJ the Juice Man, Wiz Khalifa, Pill, J. Cole, Freddie Gibbs, J. Rock, and Fashawn Donis.
That's real ciphers right there.
Was in that class.
Sean, yeah, I was about to say that was a Big Sean. That had to be in that class too.
But 2017 was the one with Tentacion, Boogie with a Hoodie, P&B Rock, Made in TYO, Playboy Cardi, God, Cap G, Kyle, and Ugly Guy was in there.
Trippy's not in that?
No.
When is Trippy?
Hold on. Let me read you 2024, because 2024 has had Big X the Plug, that Mexican OT, Lay Banks, Bossman D-Lo, Rich Amiri, Scarlip, Huncho, Four Bats, or Four whatever.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Four Bats.
Cash Cobain, Skillet Baby,
and
that's
pretty much it. Hold on, let me look up the Trippie Red. Y'all keep talking.
That's tough, bro.
So do you think? Well, I guess I think we kind of with the whole LimeWire thing, with it being illegal, you can't really expand all the way with it. I feel like there's a gate you don't go past. You feel what I'm saying? Because it was illegal.
Well, yeah, for sure.
So you had on it. So it could have been a lot. It could have been a lot bigger if it would have expanded into Apple or Spotify. Do you think Apple and Spotify?
I think you. Oh, talking about if they back end had some.
It was built on illegal shit.
Yeah,
I think if they get away from that and was like, I'm gonna actually take this shit serious and brand it. You think it'd be Spotify, FrostWire, and Apple Music, or you know what I'm saying? Because Spotify obviously was not back then. iTunes is definitely the same thing Apple Music. So you can't, you know what I mean? iTunes was back in the day like that. They just rebranded it.
Yeah, music. But I don't think anything's going to be iTunes / Apple and Spotify, because I mean, look at freaking Tidal.
Yeah,
this Tidal tried coming up with Jay-Z and all that stuff, and that didn't work out.
Yeah, that closed quick.
Well, it's still up there. Like a lot of DJs use it.
It didn't really close, because he just sold it. I think he did what he did. I think he sold it quick. He sold it, I think, 2 or 3 years. He did what he needed to do because he had leverage. Meaning he's the face. I'm gonna get who I want.
Money off of it because of his album and Jay-Z stuff and Ye's at the time.
And I think Beyonce has some exclusive stuff on there. So he did exactly what he wanted to do. He got the hype for it, built it up. People bought into it. He sold it, got up out of there, and they still doing their thing. So,
but the 2018 freshman class was the one with Trippie Redd.
2018.
It has Ski Master, Slump God, Block Boy, JB, Trippie Redd, JID, Stefan Don, Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, and YB and
2018.
The YB and fell off so bad.
Yeah, you loved them, group, boy. You was on them. You was on them, boy. You was on them, boy.
They fell off quick. Boy, YB and them fell off quick, boy. I was on YB and heavy.
Last thing, I know this is very left field of what we're talking about.
Go ahead, wrap this up. Go ahead.
Can we break down what everybody thinks falling off means in entertainment industry? Because I really want to get into y'all take. I have my take, but
Chance the Rapper.
Damn. But like, what is that?
That's just look at his career. That's a fall off.
Damn,
that's the definition. He was at the peak when Color and Book came out, and then he dropped that one bad album, and you haven't heard of him since. That's the definition.
Bryson, same with Bryson.
Bryson fell off?
Bryson just released that album last year.
Crazy. Okay, wait a minute. We're going to have to go into a different video with this one. I'm just going to get this out here right now. First album, second album. Leave it at that. If you're going to say the same thing about Chance the Rapper, you got to say the same thing about Bryson Tiller. First album.
But that's why I want to ask. That's why I want to ask what falling off means to y'all.
My definition of I'm not saying that you got to stay at the top, but you can't be all the way in rock bottom, bikini bottom. You got to stay in the middle ground.
Okay, but let's talk about that, right? Falling off really only means when somebody says, "Look, remember how this person was so big," i.e., Chance the Rapper, and then they're down here after the next. All it is I don't have the same marketing dollar spend to make myself appear everywhere when I had the label backing me. As soon as I go independent, I don't have the same leverage to spend $20 million on an average campaign run.
Though. And they're still the top.
But there's what independent artists do you know is at the top they were when they signed to a major label? You can't name one.
I mean,
everyone's been with someone.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just saying. I feel
but that's what I'm saying. There's no independent artist that's bigger than any major label artist. That's why Drake is never going independent.
No.
It's that's what it means when it's like Mariah Carey used to be this big person, or
yeah, but also she did that to her. She was fizzling herself though. That was self-inflicting. She wasn't trying to be up there all the time. What she does is, you've seen the memes. She wakes up on December 1st.
Yeah,
goes like this a little bit and makes that money for what she did because she has that solidified. Just like you said with Jay-Z, he built that platform. And got off of it. He probably fell off in making that part of it, but he's still Jay-Z.
But would you qualify that as falling off then?
In that category, yeah, that is. I feel
okay.
Same thing with like LeBron. Father Time, that's a part of a fall off.
Nah, it's different, bro. It's different.
What?
Because it's different because music is added spend and money marketing spend. If I want to spend $20 million to make you listen to my music, I will. If I don't want to spend $20 million because I don't think there's a recoupable actual asset that makes sense, I'm not doing that. Because it depends who's making the money. Jay-Z always did the Live Nation deals because they was upfronting tens of millions of dollars for him to have exclusive licensing deals to be like, okay, you need to drop this album at this point. I'm going to market it, put 444 on every single bus, every Times Square, everything. Bro, I'm not finna.
Was nuts. That shit was nuts.
Like, bro, it's payola. So like now I do agree with the Bryson Tiller thing because he was on the label still. That's just a bad processing time of him trying to release something. Now I agree on falling off in that regard because he had the backing, but the music just didn't represent the same way.
Yeah.
But the good thing about him, since it was so good, people love his music, and he came in at the right time where like he just kind of changed music.
He's still solidified now. Don't get twisted.
But there's some people that fall off and can't come back.
Yes,
he fell off and he can still drop, and people still like
because that
avidly listen.
Was ridiculous. That's why
it's different. But people don't do that with Chance the Rapper. Like they don't listen to that anymore.
Yeah. When he said that, I said, "Where the fuck he been at?" You right.
No, you right. Okay, so I will defend Chance the Rapper because I've always enjoyed listening to his music.
He's tough.
His latest singles that he's been putting out within the past year are like, it sounds like old Chance the Rapper. So I would say he's on the flow for a comeback.
But he'll never be what he used to be because he's not spending that type of money. Like, it's
not. I mean, he's also off of the stuff that the substances he was taking too.
That too.
And the person he was working with, he's off in Mars right now. So that also doesn't help out too.
Chance bad too?
No. I'm talking about back in the day with acid rap.
Cool.
But it's marketing.
No. He's not bad.
It's marketing.
Like Chances went through his own stuff, and
I know he would do. I thought he was on some.
Well, like no. He's back. He's normal. He went through his whole divorce thing. I got that over with, and now he's making music again. He was actually at the state fair in Minnesota last year.
Oh wow! Shout out Chance.
Yeah. The athlete and the music thing is totally different. You fall off by like your joints, you hurt, injury. Yeah. You're not doing that with music. Music is definitely he ain't got the right ass spin. I'm not gonna spin. He in the red, she in the negative. They still owe me from the last album. All right, they're shelving them. You drop an album 30,000 first week sales. It's like now you gotta do something else. It's massively different with them contracts when you sign that black and white when it comes to marketing.
It's like Macklemore. He made Thrift Shop and then the song for the NBA commercial, and then won a Grammy, and then never heard from him again.
I think the only person I could say that's probably close to trying to rev up independently is probably Tory Lanez. But as soon as he got independent, they got him up out of there. So it was.
Yeah, but he's got his own stuff he's got to worry about.
He got his own stuff.
That's on the wrap up.
Yeah. Well, it's been another great one. let us know in the comments if y'all old enough, if y'all around our age, or a little bit older that's watching our stuff. Have y'all, was it FrostWire or was it LimeWire?
Did you ever get a virus? Let me know if you got a virus. Let me know.
What songs were y'all downloading at that time?
And what songs were actually supposed to be downloaded, but you got the Bill Clinton and Kim Kardashian and the Soulja Boy and all that. Let me know.
Comment below if you're ever on MySpace.
That dude.
What else can we plug? Let us know if y'all like Shopify. Not Shopify. Oh yeah, it's
DatPiff. What was your first mixtape on DatPiff?
DatPiff and my mixtapes.
DatPiff.com.
Yeah,
a DatPiff original.
That was good.
Nah, he's Brank's different, bro. He got Brank different, bro.
That's the first time I heard DJ Esco.
Hey, he's different. And I remember my
coolest DJ in the world.
Hey, shout out.
Hey, DJ Esco, on the planet. Hey, that's the best one.
Yeah, Esco had that shit rocking.
He's a cool motherfucker on the planet. That he used to go hard with that.
I remember I was listening to one of our shows in the early seasons, like around my parents, and it was like, who is that doing the intro? And like I said, look to my Langston. So that's Langston. So yeah, he said shit, sound like a fucking broadcaster. I said, yeah, Langston's different.
That's what they always say,
when
man.
he gets into it, he does, but he's all a little penny.
Yeah.
We ain't getting into that.
Man, I took a nap before this, dog. It was a long day. It was
a good show, everybody.
Good show, man. Good show. Hey, another one. Let us know between Spotify and Apple Music which one y'all like better.
Mm-hmm.
We up for grabs for that. And then lastly, man, just continue to watch Dear Radio Show. We appreciate everybody so far. We've been on a unanimous journey of ups and downs, but we're on a high right now. I think with a lot of things cooking up, we're doing a lot of good things. We're closing in on year 2 of doing the show in October, so it's a few months off. We've been super happy and blessed to be able to do this for you all and for ourselves. We're at like 79 or 70 or 80, I think, by the time this comes out. Shows. We just hit 100 or 101 by the time this comes out on YouTube. 31 subscribers. We need to run some more ads. We need to do some crazy stuff. But like other than that, like we appreciate everybody that's been walking with us, that's been locking in, that's been telling us they like our content. For those that don't like the content, we appreciate y'all too. And follow me at Dear Michael for the latest fashions. There's a lot of things going on with that. But we just want to continue to say thank you for tuning in for us for Dear Radio Show. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the show. Tell us things that you would like from us. If you want to be on the show, let us know. Hopefully we can add value to you as well. And then keep watching the show. Without further ado, LeBrank, take us away with the show, brother.
Oh, thank you, man. It's been a pleasure dealing with my my co-host tonight. I'm finally glad to get off the show, but I just want to announce, what the heck is that, a camera lens?
The fuck are you doing?
Yeah, dude, you can't distract me, dude. You know I got ADHD. I was going to say one thing. Make sure to comment down below who's the biggest artist that had the biggest fall off and why it is Chance the Rapper, but why Chance the Rapper is also making a comeback, hopefully. But you can go find me on social media at LeBrankston on the Twitter, the Instagram, for my personal stuff. For my gaming pages, I got LeBrankston.gaming on Instagram and TikTok. Make sure to go follow the YouTube and the Twitch at LeBrankston. But for both of those, a lot of good stuff coming up. Summer 2025 is coming up now with all the live streams and stuff. Dude, it's late, dude. It's late. Just let me go to freaking sleep.
You just woke up, dude.
Yeah, I got to edit after this, actually. So that's where my mind's at. But big summer 2025 with streaming, recording, YouTube videos, all that stuff. It's going to be the highlight of the summer, man. But TKD2, go ahead and shout your stuff out, and let's get off this podcast.
First of all, shout out Dear Siege. I already know if Dear Siege was on here, his first album probably be some Gucci shit. So,
track God.
I'll get that out for him. Shout out Dear Siege. We,
technical
difficulties and shit like that. He probably said
Gucci.
He probably said Gucci. But like he said, man.
Shout out, go.
Like and subscribe, man. We're doing this thing. We're almost coming up on the 2 years now. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. All comments can be in there, man. I don't care if you don't like the way LeBrank talks sometimes, because I don't care. So Go ahead, put that in there.
I don't care either.
So
and stop disliking our YouTube videos.
Honestly, if you dislike it, put a comment saying dislike. I mean, then we could try to teeter to figure out why you disliking it, man. You know?
Yeah, be an adult about it.
Let me know.
Which ones they dislike? I don't be seeing no dislikes.
And there's been the people who dislike our videos are like the people who put the door on the note on your apartment door say, "Oh, hey, your dogs are too loud. Can you please quiet it down?" Just come say it to my face, dog. Just come say it to my face.
Obviously, looking at it
sounds very personal to me.
Yeah, that's all you look.
I mean, it's happened in the past.
You're looking at it, but you know, like I said, you can find me. You already know. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at TKD2 Gaming. I would say I got some summer stuff, but I'm trying to talk to one of my close friends about coaching me in Call of Duty. He's kind of on the ticker with it right now, but we'll get here. We'll get there though. We'll get there.
Bro, you're terrible. I've been watching some of your joints, bro.
All right. Okay. Yeah, you can see I'm not the best, so I do need coaching. Follow me on the Twitter, never the X, at TKD2 Gaming. Also Instagram at TKD2 Gaming. And one last thing. Paces in 6.
Finals, or we're talking about the series right here?
Everything. Paces in 6.
Shout out Indianapolis, dog. Last caveat. I tried to play the game today. It just don't feel the same for me, bro. I thought I would never say that in my life. I tried to sit there and play some games, and I was like, bro, I'm not enjoying this like I used to.
Damn.
I had to put it down.
We'll talk more off stream, but basically, you got to play with friends. That's what makes it fun.
Yes, you got to play with friends. Yeah.
But it's been your guys from Deer Radio, the best podcast show in the nation, brought to you by yours truly of Dear LeBranks, Dear Michael, Dear TKD2, and Dear Siege. Make sure to tune in the same time next week. Make sure to go follow us on all social medias. Answer all the comments down below. Leave us some personal questions in the DMs. But we'll catch you guys same time next week. Peace.